Hello, and welcome to Reserve Inspirations D&D, where my friends and I play a sci-fi homebrew version of Dungeons & Dragons for your entertainment. My name is Aaron, your Dungeon Master, and I am joined by my friends and players, Priya, Kayla, Mikael, Sarah, and Lauren. If I look tired, it's because I am. So I'm going to just chug on through. It's been a week. But this is going to be a very, hopefully, exciting episode since where we left off last time. If you don't know, you should probably catch up with a recap. But
spoiler
Kayla,
alert, don't watch this episode right now if you didn't watch last week's episode.
right, don't do it. But Kayla, can you please tell everyone where they could watch us if they so wanted to?
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
We air our new episodes on Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch. But what if Friday doesn't work for you? Don't fret. You can watch it anytime once it hits YouTube on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. And if you love our content and would like to help support us, become a patron on our Patreon and get access to new episodes Saturday morning, the morning after they air. Not only that, but you'll get bonus content and emotes as they are released.
We've got some good stuff. Got that Heavenly Roast coffee mug.
Looks amazing.
Another way to support our stream is to subscribe through Twitch. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free Twitch Prime subscription each month. It expires at the end of each month, so don't forget to keep sending it our way. Remember, it's free for you. Also, please like our videos and subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave comments below. We love it.
We do. I actually very much enjoyed looking at the comments and responding. And
No,
whatever.
definitely. Speaking of videos and content, The Adventures of Plon, our mini-series spin-off of this campaign, airs Wednesdays at 7 p.m. and each episode is immediately followed by our informational segment, Just the Tips. Don't miss that either.
If you want to keep up with other stuff that we're doing, look out for us on social media. We've got Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr. Just search up Reserve Inspiration, give us a like, give us a follow, stay up to date on what's going on. We've also got a Discord server now if you want to interact more with us, talk about D&D, have a laugh, share some good memes. Come check out the server. It's a really fun time. And for today's space fact, I know I've done a lot of facts about really weird planets that are just super far out there in the universe, but our solar system is also really, really weird too. And like, aside from just the major planets that we also have a bunch of other little things like asteroids and moons that are like orbiting different planets. So I want to talk about one of these moons. It is a moon of Jupiter. It's called Io, and it is covered in like hundreds of volcanoes that erupt constantly. So it sounds like a really fun place to be.
Is this the fact? Is that are we ready? Are we ready to move on?
I got nothing else to say about Io, so yeah.
All right. Well, we're taking that one step further toward this interesting episode. So we're gonna give a little bit of a recap, and then we're gonna get right into it. So last time on Reserve Inspirations D&D, the scene opens with Zoxa, though his form is translucent and almost incorporeal. He's being pulled to and fro by the currents of an ever-stretching river of sickly green waves. Glints of red light refract off of the choppy surface, all around Zoxa, bumping into him and constantly like wailing out. You see other translucent figures, ghosts perhaps? Nay, souls of the dead.
Where am I? I'm being tossed around in the river Styx. Why am I here? You'd think that'd be obvious. I am dead. Why am I dead? Well, I started a fight I could not finish. Now I am here, and it is not very pleasant. Fascinating, but definitely not pleasant. I seem to be slowly losing my memories and my sense of self. The worst part is, I have no journal to mark it down my findings about this strange place, or to help me remember who I am. I feel like I'm losing my memories and and sense of self. According to my calculations, I have about 48 seconds before my essence is lost forever. And I'd really like to not make this place my permanent residence. Would you stop crowding me? Damned souls. Now, before I forget, here's how it happened. Our party split again. Minerva has been MIA since we arrived on this ship. She went off on her own, like always. Tried to locate Team, Gherkin's wife, and our target query. Emmy and Tita's constant harassment of what's his name? The one no one likes. The buzzkill. No, not me. The culprit, Kubrick. That's it. Anyway, he went off on his own. Gods only know where he is now. Modi's been with me, shopping and searching for signs of Nogatame as well. Tita was invited to meet with the Enlightened One, leader of the Dreadnought Unity, leaving Emmy and Zinesi to awkwardly stare at one another, with nothing in common to do or discuss. Things quickly went from bad to worse when Tita reached out to us through our earpiece communicators saying, so yeah, like this didn't really turn out how I thought. Not sure if I'll see you later, but yeah. It was at this point that Emmy, Zin, Modi, and myself reconvened outside the Hex to plan an attempt to locate our allies. No, not the Hex. The lift, yes. We met outside the lift. While arguing amongst ourselves, the doors to the lift opened, revealing a handful of Githzerai, a lithe, red, leathery-skinned mind flayer with stubs for face tentacles, Tita, dazed and confused, not that that's any different from any other day, and finally, Minerva, bound from shoulder to feet by an energy coil restraint. Sick of losing my party members, I tried to force my way into the lift with Emmy, but we were promptly repelled by the Zerai police. I then took it upon myself to misty step past them and threw the first punch. And it was my first time throwing a punch. Oh, the pain. I can still feel it. Before I knew it, 3 police turned to me and pummeled me and beat me till I no longer drew breath. And that's how I got here. Where is here? Why am I here? Who am I?
And that's what we're going to be picking up today. Whew, that was great. Thank you so much, Zoxa, for the recap today.
Absolutely.
So, if everyone would like to bring up Roll20, I have increased the size of the map so you can kind of see what's going on. I've also changed your health bars to red. No particular reason or anything, but yeah. So last we left off, this red-skinned lithe creature is standing kind of over Zox's dead body. Minerva has just thrown herself onto an unconscious Tita using her healing cheek ability to bring Tita back from unconsciousness. Zin and Modi are standing kind of outside the lift door. Modi is just kind of about to duck under the sword, which is impossible to move at the moment. And thanks to Zox's spell, which is still around even though he's dead. And Emmy and Gherkin are about to be assailed by 3 additional Githzerai police heading down the western hallway. When we last left off, I believe Minerva had requested to this red-skinned creature that she would come willingly if I believe it was if you let everyone else go, I think, or something
It
like
was just essentially like, have your combatants stand down. I'll go with you. I won't fight.
that. Okay.
After intimidating the crap out of him,
You did.
I must say.
You did. But, you then decided to give up.
I know.
Oh. And yeah, so that's what we're picking up today in initiative order, which we're not out of yet. We just had the Mind Flayer, then Minerva. She healed up Tita, made those comments, and now it would be Zox's turn. However, he's dead, which leaves.
That save. Oh.
Yeah, so 2 full rounds. I was mistaken last episode. We were kind of guessing on how many rounds had passed. At this point, 2 rounds have passed since Zoxa has died. So that is where we are picking up. After Zoxa, you see a couple of the kind of like more tipsy looking Gith Zerai beginning to make their way, stumbling down the eastern corridor. They are heading to you right now. You can see there's a couple. They kind of make their way. They don't quite make it to the group, but you can see the 2 of them hurrying in their kind of like almost stumbling manner. If anyone, not you viewers, but players, if anyone has seen Mikey B do his fall forward walk, that's kind of what they're doing.
Yes. Oh
Yeah.
my God, that's the best. So good.
So yeah, they're
I don't know what you're missing. So good.
Yeah, someday you're gonna have to. We'll get it on film. We'll throw it up for everyone to see.
No one wants to see that.
Everyone.
To see
Now
everyone.
everyone wants to see that.
Patreon content.
Exactly. Extra content on the Patreon. Become a patron. Check it out. It's gonna be great. After these Gith Zerai begin to make their way down the hallway, Modi ducks underneath the sword and kind of runs over and slides on his knees to Tita. And Tita, he puts his hand on you and you feel, wow, you feel 14 health revived within you.
Whoa. Now I have to start liking Modi. Come on, guys.
Hope that makes you feel a little bit better, Tita. We need you to get on your feet. It's not looking good. And after Modi, Emmy, you're up.
Wait, I'm still laying down, yes?
Huh? You're still laying on the
I'm
ground?
conscious, but I'm still laying down.
Well, I believe Minerva gave you 6 hit points last time. And then
So I'm at 20.
You're 20. Yeah, you're at 20 now.
All right.
It is now Emmy's turn. Emmy, you're not looking great. Gherkin has just stepped in front of you to defend from all these police that are kind of charging in. What would you like to do? You can also hear behind you a couple coming as well.
How far can I run? Actually, why would I? Maybe, you know what? If I'm looking that way and there are people coming at me, I think maybe I'm just gonna. Gherkin's right next to me, right? Number 1.
Yeah, he's right in front of you. Yep.
Okay. Sorry, I wasn't ready for this.
You can hear all this background commotion noise of people whispering to one another. I'm not sure where that's coming from, but
Oh, is that it? I can
All around.
No. Okay. So I'm sorry, there's so much going on in the background right now. Okay, I'm gonna just touch Gherkin and I'm gonna give him let's see. I'm so sorry. I'm just gonna give him full strength and hope that he goes towards those guys.
full strength. All right. So what does this do to Gherkin?
That's enhance ability. That's going to target has advantage on strength checks and his or her carrying capacity doubles.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. Advantage on strength. Let me make a note of that.
Yeah, he didn't really have anything within range there that I could do.
No, that's great. So he kind of gets bolstered and kind of gives a glance back and smiles and then kind of turns back toward these three that are charging toward him.
Can I give him little finger guns?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He gives a little smirk and then just kind of turns back. Now it's Gherkin's turn. Gherkin is going to charge down the hallway like a bull. And he is going to attempt to, like, similar to what he did before, clotheslining the two, the previous episode. He's going to try to like lift the two of them up and slam them down onto the ground, which would give him advantage on the strength check. Good thing, because that was a bad roll. And the other one, ooh, geez. One hit. The second one, thanks to your advantage, just hit. So nice. So he comes in and he just slams these two, slams them down onto the ground. And let's see how much they suffer. Wow. Okay. Or what are these at? They both look like in rough shape at this point already.
Ooh, does that also last for an hour?
The bull strength? It's concentration, right? So you have to, as long as, yeah.
Unless he gets, I don't see him getting beat up, but.
No, concentration for you. You're the one concentrating on the spell. So if you're the one getting hit, you got to make the checks.
Okay.
So yeah, Gherkin comes running in, and then he's going to unleash two more punches, one on each of them, using his flurry of blows. First one and the second one both hit. Fantastic. When he punches the one on the left-hand side, you just see pretty much half of his skull get caved in and like ripped off. And then the second one, he stomps down on, yeah, pretty much caving in his torso and chest area. He's going to make an intimidation check for the last one. Ooh, not very well. He's like, "Argh!" And the other guy just keeps holding his ground. But that's going to bring us to
Brave and stupid gentleman.
I need who's over there? All right, I need Zanesi to make a perception check, and I need Emmy to do that as well, but with disadvantage due to where you're positioned.
Ooh. Oh, it's a great start. That is a 3 + 2.
Okay. Emmy?
11 + 5. Even.
Wow, at disadvantage? Okay. So what you see, Emmy, is you see just as you're kind of backing up a little bit and turning around toward the other two, now that Gherkin's working on this side, you notice down the northern corridor, you see Kubrick round the corner, and you see him, you see him notice you, and he looks like he's about to like charge in and start to help, but then you see a hand pop out. All you see is just like a black leather-clad gloved hand reach out, grab him from behind, and kind of pull him back, and he disappears back down the hallway.
Oh, now I'm mad.
Bye, Kubrick.
Only I'm allowed to kill Kubrick. This is not okay.
Only we're allowed to be mean to Kubrick.
How dare you?
But Zanesi, unfortunately, you didn't see that, but it is your turn.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, Coop.
Worm. Okay. Cool.
Grabbed him right by the hat.
Blown off. Ugh. Okay. Cool. Love it. I love it. I mean, I don't.
I hate it.
Yeah, thanks. I hate it.
Terrible, beautiful, incredible. Okay, well,
You look like you're at full health.
yeah. Because I wasn't really doing anything, so nobody.
Well, you were spell casting through the wall, but yeah, everyone was busy already, getting pummeled by Gherkin.
Yeah. So what I am going to do is there are these guys running at me, right?
Yeah, there's two currently stumbling quickly in your direction.
Yes. Okay. I'm going to cast Shatter again because I don't want to set anything on fire.
Okay.
So that's a point of my choice within range. So probably like right.
And now I just want to let you know, it's not depicted on this map, but there are other civilians around.
Worm. Well, this is the price we have to pay.
Yep. It is what it is, you know?
It is what it is.
Jeez, man. Yeah, so I'm gonna cast that right like in between them, like right where they're standing pretty much. So that'll
Yeah.
be the point. They have
Absolutely. So we're going to up like kind of right there.
ish. They're gonna have to make a con save.
Con save. Okay. Let's see what we got here.
Along with all of the civilians.
Well, they're going to die. No. We'll say that if they succeed their save, they live, but if they fail, they die because, you know. All right, so these two guys, that is con save. I got a 12 and a 6.
Neither of those save.
Oh, okay.
Alrighty then. Let's see. I have to roll 3d8.
Oof.
Oh, rats. Okay. That is 10 points of damage.
10 points of damage. All right, to each one. Correct. That is okay. Yeah, they're looking, they're looking all right, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, they're looking all right.
Alright.
Where's the other one? I just gotta make sure I mark off his health so I don't forget for later. Beautiful. After Zanessi, anything you want to do? Do you want to roll around, or do you have any bonus actions?
Do you want to roll around?
Do you want to roll around?
Well, because I always say walk, and then I'm like, oh, I need roll.
Wheel around.
Wheel around.
Rolling around.
It's the same thing. That was more me just asking, do I want to move? Nope. I'm
Nope.
good.
Okie dokie. After Zanessi, now these guys go. So they got this guy, this final one of the police charging toward Gherkin is going to run, and he's just going to leap off his feet and flip and try to come in with a kick. Let's see what we got here. No. Gherkin just grabs his foot and pulls him up like this, just looking at him like, are you serious? It's going to try to hit again while it's dangling. Oh, this one does hit, though. This one does hit.
It's a
Yeah,
trap.
he's serious.
Flailing.
Yeah, right.
Get him right in the face.
Okay. Gherkin takes his first hit. He's like, oh, to his head. He drops the guy back down onto the ground, not expecting to have severe pain rack his brain. The elevator guys, we got 3 of them here. One is going to... One's going to grab Minerva, lift her up, and start to drag her back toward over here in her restraints. Then we've got this guy's going to try to hit Modi. So you think he just healed Tita?
I've also hurt some people in this elevator too, though, with the light.
You did.
Mhm.
You did. So there's there. Yeah. So the ones that are in there, one of them looks severely damaged. The one that is still the one that's hitting Modi looks severely damaged. The other 2 look all right. Like they've taken some damage. So we got this one is, yeah, he's going to punch Modi with, what's Modi's armor class? Unsuccessfully with both. Modi is just like, dodging back and forth. Then we have this one here. He's going to duck under the sword and come out and see that, because he saw.
I heard it, so I came out.
So I came out. This one saw Zin do some kind of magic and heard a blast where a couple of his allies are. So he's going to come over and start trying to beat on you.
Here are you.
Oh. The order that I saw those results, I got a natural 1 and a natural 20. So,
Oh, indeed.
Oh, it
So the-
cancels. It cancels
It
itself
cancels
out.
itself
It's a
out.
10.
Yeah, it's a
exactly. So it comes in to punch you, and you just kind of quickly wheel around, so it punches the wheel of your chair for the first one. But then because you did that quick reactive move, his other hand just poof, across the face. You're gonna suffer. Oh, that's cocked. You are gonna suffer 3 points of bludgeoning damage and 8 points. Oh wait, lies. Sorry, this is a critical. So 35 total between psychic and bludgeoning.
Worm. Okay.
Just poof across the face. And yes, it hurts, like the physical contact of it hurts, but all of a sudden it's like your brain freezes up as if it's just being squeezed as hard as something can squeeze it, and you're like, like a worse, like brain freeze times 1,000. And you almost reel over in your chair. After they go, that brings us now back to the top with the lovely red-skinned creature. And as Minerva says that and combat continues, he holds his arm up and says, "Halt, cease attack." And that's all he does. And it looks like he's readying himself, if anyone tries anything, to do something else. Minerva, you're up. You are currently in these electric coils, and you are still prone and pulled off to the side away from your allies in the lift.
Did we skip Tita?
Yes, T2 was supposed to go first.
Yeah, but didn't I move? Because like I didn't. Oh, that was something else. When I
Oh, you know what ended up happening? No, you aren't actually going to go first, because what ended up,
I moved because I didn't do anything for like so many turns.
I let you, as a reaction, take your turn out of turn to snap out because you
Yeah.
saw Zox's being defiled, and
Wasn't that the new initiative though? I thought that was Tita's new initiative order.
no, I put him back in his regular spot. Either way, he still would have just gone, like as like right before you, and you were the last person to go. So it makes sense to come back up to the top at this point.
Wait,
But it is Minerva's turn, and then Tita. What are you doing?
Go with them, so she's not gonna try to bust out of the restraints or anything.
Gonna lay there?
I guess the only thing she would really say, the mind flayer said to stand down.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess she would just focus on that communicator and say, the boss told his men to stand down. Stand down to get out of here.
Okay. So who gets that? Everyone but Modi and Cooper get that, I believe.
Mhm.
But Modi's right there and can see and heard it. And Cooper, you don't know what's going on with him down the hall. So it is what it is. Okay, so that's Minerva's turn. Tita, you are prone to the ground. Modi is kind of huddled over you, who just dodged 2 blows, but you can see that other creature is kind of easing up at this point. He's kind of pulling himself back this Githzerai. What would you like to
I
do?
obviously just heard what Minerva said to into the earpiece.
Right.
So can I get up?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get
I'll
up.
take that status off of you.
I will. Oh Jesus! I'm gonna stand up, and then I'm next to who? Modi?
You're next to Modi and one of the enemy guys.
Like the enemy guys, obviously between me and Minerva.
Between you and Minerva, yes, and then you have Zaxa in the far right corner, and that red-skinned creature is kind of standing off to the side, slightly next to him. You can, yeah, you can see it on the map. So
I'm just gonna walk over to. Well, I can move. Yeah, I have enough movement. Yeah. I'm gonna walk over to Zaxa and then do a.
Well, before you get there, the red-skinned creature kind of puts his arm out in front of your chest to stop you.
Okay. Also, I don't move. Okay.
So
I'm just gonna chill next to Modi then.
No. You can move up to where like Zaxa's head is, but he kind of stops you at that point. And as he's about to kind of push you back, you see him kind of like his eyes kind of look up into his head as if he's like thinking or something. And he kind of like looks up a bit.
Okay.
Head goes down. Okay. And brings his hand down, allowing you to move toward Zaxa.
Okay. Yeah, I will go to his head, I guess, if that's as far as I can go.
Yep.
I'm assuming I don't know he's dead because I was also just unconscious.
I think you saw
I
him.
think he died before you went down. I'm
Um,
pretty sure.
Yeah, well, it was
Yeah,
while he was still dazed, because then he came out of it
Yeah.
while I was about to have
right.
my
So
head eaten.
can I can get to him and then can I just like kneel down and then I'm gonna turn back to the dude that told everybody to stand down. Like, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna like go next to him and like crouch.
Okay. After Tita, Zaxa, another round has passed. I'm marking that off. You see Zin and Emmy, you see the two swaying tipsy guys kind of stop in their tracks after getting blasted, and then they just kind of put their arms down and hold their position down the hallway. And then Modi is going to just take a few steps away from this guy with his hands up, kind of toward back to Tita. Like, please don't hit me again. Or try to hit me, I should say. Then we've got Emmy. You heard Minerva's order out of the earpiece. You've got one guy who just punched Zin behind you, but he seems like he's kind of laxing a bit. What are you doing? Are you muted? There you go.
Doggos. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn to that guy and I'm gonna say, if you touch her, I'll kill you. And then I'm gonna start trying to go down the hallway. Because
Okay.
I'm the only person who saw Kubrick.
Yes. All right.
But I care.
So make an intimidation check first.
Ooh, okay. Oh, yeah. 21 altogether.
21. You see him kind of like back off a little, almost like defensive, like you're gonna punch him.
I might.
So yeah, you head down the hallway. Is that your movement there?
Yeah, I think that's about as far as I can go, 30 feet.
You can, as an action, make a double move if you want to get all the way down there. It's up to you, but that's using your action.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's the best I can do at this point. I guess I feel bad.
All right, as you round the corner, you can see that there is a feminine figure, and she's decked out in all like these dark leathers. You can see a vial that almost looks like a teardrop around her neck with some sort of red liquid inside. Very, very pale skin, dark black hair. And she's just kind of like, she's got her forearm pressed against his chest, kind of like listening. And every once in a while, she kind of like peers around that same corner. and she's kind of got her finger up to him, like telling him to be quiet. And that's kind of what you see as you're around the corner. If you want to say something real quick, you got like 2 seconds.
No, I feel like Emmy would be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, as if they were.
All right.
She'd probably figure that's why Kubrick had to go away.
As you're like, oh, I'm sorry. You see Kubrick kind of look and be like, it's not what it looks like. I promise. It's not what it looks like. But
what does it look like?
She's fairly close. She's pressed up against him, kind of holding him there with her finger up to her mouth, kind of telling him to be quiet, and she keeps kind of peering back around the corner. So that's kind of like what it looks like. Well, peering around the corner because his back is against the wall. Take it as you will, but that's what you see.
I don't think I can do much more right now.
All right. After ending Gherkin, Gherkin hears Minerva, but is he gonna listen? We'll roll. You see him just reach out, grab that guy, 2 hands, and just over his knee, snaps him in half and throws the body on the ground. Turns around and goes, all right, I surrender.
Wait.
The one and only.
Yeah, so that's at Gherkin. Now that's Kubrick. Emmy, you see Kubrick there, and he kind of grabs her, pushes her shoulders back. He's like, get off. He's like, Emmy, he grabs you and kind of like pulls you around the corner. He's like,
I'm gonna tell him to watch it because of the bruises, if I can.
oh yeah, because you've been beat. He's like, oh, sorry. Shh. Did anyone see you come this way?
Maybe.
And then the woman, she looks to you and she says, then you should go back. Do not lead them to us.
Oh, you sound exotic.
She gives the tiniest crack of a smirk and then gets very serious again. She's like, go. I was wearing the hat. After that's Kubrick's turn. That's pretty much what happens during Kubrick's turn. Zanesi, you're up. You saw Emmy head down the hall. She told that guy near you that if he touches you, that she'll kill him. And he seems to have eased off a little bit. What would you like to do? You did hear Minerva as well.
Yeah. There's not much else she can do, so she's just gonna kind of sit there and put her hands up and be like, okay, I guess.
Hands up, yep. All right. Yeah, you see the rest of the blood red robed Githzerai kind of stand down. The one that's holding you, Minerva, his grip loosens and he's almost just kind of holding you to hold you up at this point. He's not like restraining you. He's just kind of because you're bound and restrained, so he's holding you up so you don't fall over.
Hit him quick.
This other one will kind of take a step away and kind of backing into the corner a bit, as will this one kind of step away from Zin. Now that one is cornered between Zin and Gherkin, so he keeps turning and making sure he's got an eye on Gherkin. And yeah, that's them. And now it goes back to the red-skinned creature, and he's like, so you're going to come quietly then? To you, Minerva?
She nods.
Good. You and him, and he points to Tita. But not before he attempts what the Enlightened One thinks he's going to. And he will take a step back as well. Oh, I just elongated him instead of moving him. But yeah, that's kind of what happens there. And Minerva, at this point, it's you and Tita next. It looks as though combat has ceased, and Tita, you are standing over Zox's body. And you just kind of get that, not necessarily a command, but it seems as though the Enlightened One is expecting you to try something.
Okay.
I turn to Tita and I just go, what is he talking about?
I don't know. He said I could bring people back from the dead or something.
What?
Yeah, I know. Weird, right?
Okay, well, do you know what to do? Can you bring Zoxa back?
I don't know. That's why I came over here. Hello?
Time is ticking. We are out of initiative order.
Well, hurry.
I suppose I will crouch or like kneel down next to his body.
Sure.
I don't even know if I'm supposed to actually do anything because he's not gonna know what to do. He's just gonna like put like all four of his hands like over his body and just kind of like, I don't know, think that he's doing something literally with his hand, like he's just like thinking about.
Give me a wisdom check.
12.
Okay. Kind of in a panic, you think really quickly, like what how would I even do this? How would I go about trying to help my friend? And you think and you hear the Enlightened One's voice in your mind calling you a monk of the Iron Lung. So you kind of get an idea that you think maybe it has something to do with your breath.
Oh my God, CPR. No, I'm just kidding.
Essentially, maybe, yeah.
Well, he's Tita, so he's gonna think if he said, I'm just gonna blow on him. Like I'm gonna hear him in my head and be like, why? Like my breath, and then I'm just gonna be like, like down his whole body.
Then you hear the voice, "This is going to be more difficult than I expected."
I can hear him say that.
Yes.
Okay. Why is it working? What do I need to do then?
Anyone else doing anything at the moment? I will say at this point, 7 rounds have passed.
Do I know anything about like, because like, I mean, I know that I have healing magic and stuff. I know that's not going to work here, but would I know about like, I don't know, can I see Tita just like blowing air and like connected in my head? Like maybe it should be blown into a person's windpipe instead of across their body. I don't know. Like
Intelligence check.
Okay. All right. Okay. Here we go.
Yeah, because the two of you are essentially kind of, acting simultaneously.
Yeah.
Intelligence for Zoxa. Come on, do it.
That was a nat 20.
You get these clutch rolls. I love it.
I'm oh my God.
Yeah, almost immediately you put 2 and 2 together that, you see Tita blowing on the body, but logically that doesn't make sense. That wouldn't do anything in your mind. So you can say whatever you think you need to say.
Tita, if you're going to bring him back to life, he needs to breathe again.
Oh. And so, yeah, I guess I'm gonna like CPR him and like blow into his mouth, I guess.
All right, so what is that thing called? I know that this is
what I am going to breathe into Zoxa's lungs is in fact the breath of life.
Ah, okay. Zoxa.
Uh-huh.
Your soul has been kind of...
Wait, is that just a thing I can do, or do I have to use my key for that?
Double check the description. I believe you have to use a couple key points.
It literally just says you are able to bring a creature back to life.
All right, I'll look at it later. I don't think you're going to need more key points right now. I'm pretty sure it's minimum 1. It's definitely a key thing. Okay. It might even be up to 5. We'll see. But But
I don't have that many, so you should.
all right, we're gonna take a quick look then, because
I only have 3 left to
this
use.
could be drastically
Oh,
different.
it costs 4. Ugh.
Oh, we can't afford you living.
Oh,
As I breathe into him and then nothing happens, I'm like, sorry, dude. I guess I use it on other stuff.
all right. Features and traits, Breath of Life. I think if you click on Breath of Life, it should give you more of a description.
It just it says 7-day recharge time.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
2 key points.
Key
You spend
points.
2
2 key points.
Yep.
Good thing.
I'm just reading all the stuff just to make sure that I didn't forget anything that I wrote originally. Okay. Yeah, so you breathe in, and Zaxa, you are getting thrown around, batted back and forth in this sickly green liquid of river
Oh,
stick.
wait. What happens to Zaxa if I do that?
If you bring him back to life,
Yeah.
he comes back to life.
Do I have
And
to
nothing else?
No, but do I have to use? Well, then what's the little revivify thing? It says I can use 1 point. That will he'll automatically have.
No, the revivify is just the description of the spell revivify. I put that in there so you would know what the ability does. It's essentially a monk's version of revivify for an Iron Lung monk.
Oh, okay. Because that said an additional key point, so I was just confused.
I will double what I feel like that would. Let me just, are you touching a creature?
This feels like when you're in class and somebody brings up, what about the homework?
Everyone in the room just like gives that kid the demon eyes. You're like,
Oh, it doesn't say 1 key point. It says 1 hit point. They come back with 1 hit point.
yeah.
That's what he comes back with. Yeah, he's alive with 1 hit point.
All right. Yes. Fine. Whatever you just said.
So, Zaxa, again, you're getting thrown around this river. And you've almost pretty much lost your mind completely. All of your memories and thoughts and knowledge has just been sifted away by the river. But then you feel a tug. And another one. Does Zaxa have the will to return to the material plane? Your choice.
You have the will.
Does Zaxa want to continue living, or is he happy dying in the river Styx forever?
I wanted to roll to find out.
Nat 20? Coming back? Okay. Tita, as you're just like on Zaxa's corpse, and then Minerva yells at you to think for a second. You then blow as hard as you can from your lungs into Zaxa's, and for a moment, there's nothing. Another moment, his chest begins to depress, and then Zaxa, you come back. Yeah, that does not feel good. That I've done that before. You come back, but it's almost that you feel as though you've just been hit by a tractor trailer truck. You can't move. You have 5 levels of exhaustion.
Good.
You can't move really. You'll be able to see what the effects are, but yeah, that's you can all hear / see Zaxa breathe his first breath back from death, the brink of death's door.
Oh, fantastic! My hit point maximum is halved.
Yeah. So what are all the things that happen to you?
Disadvantage on ability checks. Speed is halved. I mean, it's also reduced to 0 in a later one, but we'll get to that. Disadvantage on attack throws and saving throws. Hit point maximum halved. Speed reduced to 0.
Okay, so that's.
I don't have 6, which is death, but I did.
But you did.
Our buddies, hey.
Yeah, essentially, Tita just took 1 level of exhaustion away from you.
I put my hand like on Tita's shoulder and I'm like, you did it. You did it.
You can't put your hand on his shoulder because you're bound.
No, I
You can
go
hobble
to do
over
that.
and put your head on
I
his
go
shoulder.
to do that, and then I'm like, oh shit! But still, she's just like in awe of what you just did, Tita.
I'm gonna like, when he breathes, I'm gonna like kind of stumble back and like, because I'm gonna be surprised that I just did that.
Yeah. As you stumble back, Zoxa, just everything hurts. Your brain is racked with pain. You're still kind of foggy on certain memories and thoughts. They're starting to very, very slowly return to you. I would say at this point, your keen mind feat is just kaput for the moment.
There's nothing keen about my
There's
mind.
nothing in your mind at the moment. You are no longer the keenest of minds.
No.
Momentarily for this time period. But you see all of these Zerai and Gith and this red-skinned creature stiffen up, and the creature points to Modi and Zoxa and says, "Get them off the lift. You two come with me." And points to Tita and Minerva. So you see these, where's my thing here? Oh boy, yeah, you see this guy go over to Modi and begin to not push him or anything, but kind of guide him out into the hallway. Sorry, I moved to Tita by accident. This one kind of leans you, Minerva, against the wall. And
right there.
grabs Zoxa by the shoulders and kind of drags him out into the hallway.
Can I use the communicator to speak with Zin and Emmy and One? And like, I guess Zoxa will probably hear this too. And then Tita, because Tita's right there. But she would just like to say, make sure Zoxa rests. Keep yourselves safe. Please, all of you.
You didn't say that out loud, right? You said that in the earpiece?
Yeah, I thought I had to speak out loud to say that though.
Yeah, well, that's true. That is true. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So as you say that, the red-skinned creature just kind of looks and smirks and is like, "He'll be getting rest where he's going. Take him to the brig." And the doors, well, actually, he's got to remove that stupid sword. You see that creature kind of walk over, put his hand on it, and just very gingerly, just little bits at a time, it begins to kind of slide into the lift with them. And then eventually it's far enough away that the doors begin to close again. And you can all kind of see Tita and Minerva being taken away.
Just one question though.
Mm-hmm.
So, how much does the lift weigh?
How much does the lift weigh?
Because if the lift is not over 4,000 pounds, the lift will not be able to move.
Right, but the way you positioned the sword, it wasn't leaning on the ground. It's just kind of floating there in the midair. So
correct.
He pulls it straight forward and leaves it currently. Oh, but the lift can't go down. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right, hold on real quick.
So
here.
he could, I'll just help you out. He could push it outside the lift.
This creature is more intelligent than me, clearly. And that's what he's going to push. He's going to pull.
Oh man, I really wanted that to happen, and the lift goes to.
He's like, but no. So the lift begins to rise, and everyone else is kind of standing or laying or sitting. I guess we got a little bit of everything going on here. Outside, the rest of these Gith swaying tipsy people come over, and they all begin to put these energy cuffs around your hands, like behind your back. Zoxa, they just leave you alone. They don't even touch you because you're just pretty much dead. Is anyone resisting? Emmy, have you made it back to the group during that time of Zoxa being brought back.
Uh,
You were told to vamoose.
I know, but her accent was just so intriguing. I don't know that she would have just left right away, but she would see all this going on and she wouldn't be happy, I guess.
Okay, yeah. Well, with that being said, one of them begins to make the one that saw you originally begins to make his way down the hallway to where you went. But as everything is getting situated down here, Minerva and Tita, the lift brings you up to the next layer of this ship. The doors open, and
Tita something before.
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Tita, could you grab my mask, please?
Oh, I can obviously see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll pick it up and give it to her.
Sure. Well, can't give it to her, but.
What? Oh, I'll pick it up. I'll pick it up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So you two are, well, Tita, you're kind of not pushed, but he kind of gingerly guides you from your back using his hands to kind of push you out of the lift. And then he just grabs Minerva by the back collar and begins to drag you out behind him. And yeah, you are brought through the double doors that are at the far end of that foyer that I told you about, Tita. And as the doors open, Minerva, you can see, well, actually, no, it would take you a little bit because you're being dragged backwards. But as you are being dragged, you go from like this hard metal surface into the room where it then turns into like a very dark black carpet. You begin to be dragged down there. There's a bit of flickering orange candlelight all the way down this, I guess you'd call it like a carpeted pathway amongst a much larger room. And as you get pulled a little bit, you can kind of see, because as you're just, getting pulled back, you can now see, the back of the room moving further away. You see along the sides of this carpet, there are hunched over creatures that are chained, bound, and they have these large wooden or metal contraptions kind of laying over their shoulders, kind of clamped open with spikes. AKA an instant death if they try to do something that, is unwarranted.
Wait, am I there as well?
You are, yeah. You are currently in front of this redskin creature, moving ahead toward the enlightened one, who you can see in the far.
Okay, no, that's fine. I just wanted to know. So the dude that got his head squished the last time, is he still there, squished, or has he already been replaced by some other minion?
That is a fantastic question. That one. The blood stain is still there. The creature is not, but the position has not been filled.
Okay.
A moment, there's like an opening. Okay. But yeah, you see
now
that
hiring.
Yeah.
You get dragged for quite a bit, 60, 70 feet maybe. And then as you reach the point of destination, this creature kind of like lifts and tosses you in front of him. So you kind of roll a bit. And then he uses his foot to kind of roll you so that you're facing where the enlightened one is. And as you're facing the enlightened one, you see this large cushion, but he's not sitting upon it. He's kind of lifted up in a meditative seated stance, kind of over this cushion. It hasn't said a word, just kind of meditating there. The creature's like, "Enlightened one, I brought you your prize." And the eyes just... "Yes, I see. Very good. And the infiltrator." And did either of you want to say anything at this point, or just I can continue?
No. Yeah, I'm gonna say something. Does she have to be tied up like this? She's not gonna go anywhere, dude.
Seeing the display of aggression she gave earlier, I will keep her in these binds for now. But if she can gain my trust, I may remove them.
She kind of just like scoffs a little bit when he says the word trust.
Trust isn't something that comes easily to you.
Especially not with whatever's going on here.
Whatever's happening now.
No.
He's like, But yes, I will deal with you in a moment. And he kind of turns his focus to you, Tita. I thought you claimed you have not learned how to do what you just displayed.
I didn't learn it, dude. I just did it for the first time.
Ah, then I will take a bit of the credit.
I mean, but you didn't do anything.
Did I not? Did you not hear me in your head?
Oh, I mean, I guess, but I still didn't do it right. It was her that got me to do it right. And I like point to Minerva.
She just, like,
Then it
smirks a
looks
little
as
bit.
though your friends are not as much of a weakness as I first thought.
Duh.
Minerva, what did you say?
Oh, she just like smirked a little bit when Tita was like, "Oh, actually, you didn't do that. I got a hint from her."
Well, as for now, your other friends and allies will be put down below in the drudger hold. Whether they become drudges, well, that is for the council to decide.
Why? They didn't do anything either.
Did they not? They assaulted my guardians.
I mean, I guess.
In our home. And who was in the wrong? You. You were infiltrating our home. We acted in self-defense.
They stood down though. Can't you honor that?
Of course.
So
But
let them go.
Again, this is not for me to decide. Though I am the leader here, I am not in charge of drudges. You will have to
Sure.
speak to the drudge knight. With that, we're going to take a quick pause with you. Think about if there's any conversation you want to have with him. We're going to move to the rest of the group. You are all kind of gathered in this hallway outside the lift. One is struggling. He's trying to he doesn't want to get cuffed, but at this point, he's complying. Everyone begins to get cuffed, and eventually the elevator comes back down. Now, Emmy, this guy continues to make his way. As he's making his way down, you're still talking to Kubrick and this mysterious woman. Anything you'd like to say or do?
I think she would turn to both of them and say, I want you both to remember this and you're welcome. And then just run back out away from them and to this idiot and try and kind of tackle him.
Yeah, as you're going to say you're going to try to tackle him?
Yeah, why not? I'm half dead anyways.
Fantastic. All right, yeah, you kind of.
Why is everybody just getting handcuffed? Emmy clearly would not be okay with that.
You kind of turn the corner and almost slam right into him right away, and as you do, you kind of, without even thinking, just make an athletics check. Let's go.
14 total.
14 total. Okay. My first roll was cocked between the 20 and the 2. So then I rolled it again and rolled a 2. So yeah, he's just, you see him, he's just strolling. You turn the corner quick and just without thinking, just tackle, and he wasn't ready. Just goes down underneath you. What else are you trying to do?
I'm just gonna keep running past him. Because
Oh.
I don't even know that Zax is alive. I have no idea what's going on down here.
True. You run out into this the perpendicular hallway to where you are currently, and as you do, you kind of skid. One of those like skid to a halt things, because you see Zanesi being cuffed. You see Zaxa breathing but laying on the ground outside. Gherkin is kind of hunched over, getting cuffed at the moment, and Modi has his hands out like, yeah, I guess you can cuff me too. But yeah, you see a couple of these police like Zerai just turn and look to you and be like, there's the other one. Thought she was around here somewhere. And Are you coming quietly?
Well, then I'll put my hands out and set them on fire and say, sure.
He kind of like draws back a little bit and then takes the energy cuffs and clicks and then does that do damage? Can you do damage with that?
I think it does a little bit of damage.
Roll a d4. Roll a d4.
Okay. Dude.
You see him like he starts like, sucking on his burnt finger.
And I'm just gonna do a little like, what?
Like, it moves you forward with the rest of the group and kind of like throws you down to the ground. And as he does that, the lift doors open once more. And they begin to file everyone into the lift. They begin to scan each one of you with that weird scanner. And then the ones that are meant to be here use their little chips to enter. Does everyone comply with getting on the lift?
No. I'm going to ask, on what grounds are you keeping me? Are there charges being filed? Is there something I should know about? I mean, no hands, but
Assault and battery against the civilians of this vessel.
Civilians? We were all just beat up by cops. I don't understand why you would be arresting us.
The cops, as you put it, only beat you because you were beating them.
Semantics.
I think not.
And he tries to push you in. Do you resist?
Help, I'm being repressed.
Emmy, as you're saying this and you're like fake struggling, looking back and forth, give me a perception check.
Okay. Oh, nat 20. Why now? Why is it always the perception check?
I'm glad that you get to see this because you just see. I'm actually gonna highlight it. Give me 1 second, real quick. On the far corner where the right of the eastern hallway begins to turn toward kind of like the northeast, you see two figures standing there. A devil and a chubby human kind of looking in your direction, a little smirk and a wave, as Manny and Punch are watching you get carted away. They give a little wave and they turn and head back toward the docking bay where your ship is. But nonetheless, you are all shoved into this lift and you begin to descend. As you descend, we're going to pop back to Minerva and Tita. Minerva and Tita. Actually, you know what? I think this is a good time for a break. It's the perfect time for a break. We'll reconvene back with Minerva and Tita and the Enlightened One. So we'll see you in a few minutes. Be right back.
All right, a lot's happened, but I don't want to talk about it more than I have to. Here's all I have to report. After accidentally releasing the entity from the center of the elemental chaos, my crew and I traveled to the planet Isgard to make some repairs on our ship. Isgard used to be my home before I lived on the Halo ship with the Spite Team, a tactical team of 6 Asimar created by the angelic solar of knowledge, Azaziel. So setting foot on Isgard felt like a much-needed return at first. Of course, it wasn't too long before I ran into trouble. As some of my allies have surely been able to figure out by now, I have a memory issue, to put it lightly. On Isgard, I encountered someone who claimed to recognize me, and what were his words? "I'll kill you if I ever see you again?" Something like that. I had no idea who this person was, but he wore a mask very similar to mine, and he was very, very angry. Turns out he was called Number 1, and was the leader of an organization known as the Obsidian Order. I apparently used to serve this order, going by the designation Number 6. I'm glad I chose a better name for myself once I woke up. Anyway, despite Number 1 threatening to end my life should he see me again, I allowed myself to be captured by the Order with the intent of deceiving them and rescuing another one of my allies they had wrongfully captured. Little did I know that my own crew was mounting their own rescue mission for me. And I supposed it all worked out in the end. A ship with my own crew caught up to the ship I was on with the Obsidian Order just as we all came to the wreckage of a third ship. Unfortunately, it was one I recognized, the Halo ship with my former spite team. It had been torn apart by a gargantuan earth elemental. A few of my teammates, well, I'm not sure if I even could have protected them if I was there. I did find one of my teammates alive and awake, though, Nolgatame. Apparently, she used to work for the Obsidian Order too, under the name Number 4. Violent, angry, a drunk for power, Number 1 was relentless in finding her. I got to Nolgatame first, but I still couldn't stop her from joining him. She was very important to him, and he was able to restore her memories. All that time I knew her on the Halo ship, I hadn't even known her memories were gone too. A fight ensued. Number 1 deemed me more a nuisance than an ally, and tried to make good on his word of killing me. Now, I may be the one who's not able to remember much, but clearly he forgot how much of a fight I can give. He ran away in the end. Teleported away, actually, with with Number 4 by his side. I have no idea where either of them are now, but I convinced one of Number 1's allies to abandon him and join me, and my crew killed the rest of his order in their endeavor to rescue me. So, if I do cross paths with Number 1 again, well, I just hope it's not soon. But anyway, 1 and 4 retreated, my crew had found me, and the Halo ship was in pieces. Olve was dead. Onlum was dead. Zanesi was close to being dead when I found her, but we managed to get her to safety. I thought that Modi was dead for quite a while too, but turns out he wasn't on the Halo when it got attacked. He was able to regroup with all of us on Isgard, and I have to admit that having him and Zin around has been a light in a dark void. But, everything else is so dark. Plonk is no longer with our crew. She's not dead, but the entity that emerged from the elemental chaos came for her. Tita and I tried to stop it, but whatever that thing is, it's a kind of power I can't contend with. Yet. I can only hope that Plonk is okay wherever in the galaxy she is. Her departure weighs on me. I can't help but feel like I often fail to protect people important to me, or, at the very least, people I'm charged with. Some leader I am. I can't imagine what in the hell Azaziel was thinking when he made me the captain of my own crew. And speaking of, Azaziel seems to have gotten himself into some trouble as well, if the gruesome vision of him in my dream held any truth anyway. But I don't know how to feel, because now I have reason to believe that he took my memories. That is all I have to report.
First entry off Verdalk. My life was saved today. I was teleported out of a poisonous coffin onto a ship. The ship works off the elves' magic, but it's also technologically superior to anything on Verdalk. I found a book at the excavation site, as well as an interesting bag. I believe they are both magical. More research is needed. I'm to go with these new humanoids I've never seen before. We're supposed to stop something from happening? For once, I don't know what's going on. Entry 2. The others I've been traveling with are, well, useful in their own ways. 2 fighting types and a small thief. Good for protection, I suppose. I have discovered that the book I found is a spell book. The text is difficult to decipher, but I've been fairly successful. Entry 3. We failed. The elemental chaos we were sent to protect was destroyed, and an entity of energy burst forth from it. I am unsure of what this means, but I saw the impossible depths begin to freeze over. I fear the worst. Entry 6. We've made it to Isgard. We need to get a job, to get credits, to get our ship fixed. Such things are beneath me. There are Tritons here. They might be able to tell me about the state of Vidalk. must travel to Muspelheim, a city under the water. Entry 10. Minerva has sacrificed herself for our safe passage. Those mercenaries took her to their hideout. I don't think they know who they're dealing with, the fools. We know where they are, and we know how to hit them. I'm starting to enjoy these frivolous battles. Entry 15. We are returning to Isgard, having successfully retrieved Minerva, as well as gaining a few new allies. Captain Strang, Zinesi, and another Vidalkin, Vunisa. At this point, I've taken a life, but I've also saved Kubrick. Perhaps I should leave the heroics to the fighters. Entry 20. Now Plonk has been taken by the same entity that we released. This group's failures are outweighing the successes. I can no longer trust Minerva or Tita to protect me. I must learn more from my book. The progress is slow, but it seems more reliable.
So, what am I supposed to be doing again? Oh, right. Updating you about what I've been up to or whatever. Honestly, Green, a lot's been going on. I mean, I know I told you about my family already, and how I have my great-granddad T-Sip's pickaxe with me, because I used to be an excavator back on Pandemonium. Yeah, I say used to, because I don't know if I'll ever do that again. Been zipping around, actually, I don't even know where with this crew. Speaking of the group, they're fine, I guess. Not sure what I'm gonna do now, though, that Plonk is gone. She was my sidekick, you know? Used to carry her around everywhere with me. I mean, she was actually pretty frowning small. We got into so much trouble. Like that time we were messing around in the escape pod and then actually detached from the ship. Totally wild. Good thing I played that stellar video game so much, cause I feel like it kinda trained me how to fly that thing. Another thing that's far out is this totally hot girl I met. And by hot, I mean she was literally made of fire. So frolin' sexy, Green. Totally burned me though. We messed around a few times and then she just took off on a stolen ship. Guess that's why her name's Bernadette. So, I know you know I love smoking moss and making bongs. Damn, come to think of it, I've broken 2 already since I've been here, Green. Lost Genevieve early. Rest in peace, Jenny. And Riz, oh, so stellar. Rizzoli, our time was cut so short, girl. Too short. Speaking of moss, I almost forgot. I got a little daring and bought this, other stuff. A spray. Totally crazier trip, Green. We were out at this nightclub. Got this totally stellar vest to wear. I look fresh as Frel in it. Wait, what was I talking about? Anyway, who knows? We're gonna get caught up in something next. Whatever that is. I think we're going to Zox's planet soon. He's pretty sure it's frozen over. Dread like that is happening everywhere, Green. I heard some planetary news report that Pandemonium is under siege. Thrice and Fours fighting over surface territories. Sounds crazy to me, Green.
Hey there, my name's Zinesi, Zin for short if that's what you prefer. I'm what you might call an inventor of sorts. My vast knowledge surrounding magical technology allows me to design and create new items that can help make everyone's lives a little easier. One of my more known devices is a universal winged utilizer. Perhaps you heard of it. Anyway, I'm from a smithing guild in Brightwater, namely the Marketplace Eternal. I'm not much for the whole buying and selling of things, so my purpose was mostly just to make what was being sold. I also enjoyed sneaking into the back rooms of shops and observing what others were making. When I wasn't doing that, I was busy making inventions of my own. I think one of my favorites is definitely the gravity neutralizer. I've been inventing for as long as I can remember. Countless hours at the library poring over books about alchemy, welding, circuits, enchantments, anything I could get my hands on. When I wasn't in the library, I was sitting at my pa's workbench and tinkering with my new inventions and tweaking blueprints. I still remember my first invention.
Long hours of editing and finalizing blueprints, testing prototypes, and eventually fixing prototypes. So thrilling. I guess that's what got Guild interested in me to start. Been working for them for a little while now. My spike team was pretty solid. Now, after what happened with the Halo ship and all the loss that came with it, things have been turned upside down for me. I've joined Minerva and her crew for a bit, and Kubrick's been helping me keep my mind busy. With everything as confusing as it is, I only wish that I was able to think the way I could before all this happened. Maybe then I'd be able to wrap my head around it a bit better.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it is with great humility that I come to you to beg forgiveness for the wake of damage
Miss Strang, I'm simply interviewing you.
What's that now?
This isn't the court, which, by the way, you are doing next week. So, Captain Strang, tell me how you got where you are currently.
Oh, that business. Well, that's a horse of a different color. Let's see now, where to begin? Oh, yes. What am I doing here with these folks? Well, I can't help but be attracted to the miasma of chaos, which is why this current band of jolly travel buddies piqued my interest. I suppose I just gravitate to the crazy, so to speak. Ever since I was a young lady, I had a thirst for entertainment, seeing it, being it, which certainly kept things interesting. My mother loved my imagination, my charisma. May she rest in peace, that darling, loving soul. My father, on the other hand, well, let's just say that he didn't share my love for the theater. Young ladies are not meant to be heard, and they're meant to be admired. Gross. Being preened to fit into high society was a real awakening. My father looked so proud every time I would perform like the young debutante he expected. Yet I found the whole dog and pony show to be tired and antiquated. So I went to college, expanded my horizons, met my match, my aquatic equal. Classic story, really. We meet, we fall in love, we make grand plans together, and alas, duty and status destroy your hopes and dreams. She was the very beginning and end of my taking anything seriously. But I digress. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger and all that garbage. My father gifted me a ship when I was of age, and I set out for the great unknown. I grew up, grew out, and lost my way. As my reputation precedes me, I tend to be known as one who indulges in liquid courage as a means to an evening's end. If I can't be truly happy, then why not forget the whole day entirely? Nobody wants to get close to the drunk clown. It gets dark sometimes. Lonely. And then, lo and behold, I happen upon these creatures, thrown together by circumstance, bound by honor to protect one another. I admire their connection. I crave it. So to be concise, I find myself following these folks like a shadow because, well, I like them. It is a great benefit of life to be able to choose a family. Can only hope I don't drop a turd in the punch bowl.
And welcome back. All right, so last we left off, the party split again, as well, not by choice this time. They are split. Minerva and Tita are on a different floor. I'm not gonna say how many there are or what floor it is, but they're on a different floor in the Unity, speaking to the Enlightened One, while everyone else is being dragged down to the drudge brig of sorts down below. But Tita and Minerva, you are standing / tightly wound laying on the ground facing this entity. And you can hear that red-skinned creature just kind of heavy breathing behind you. At one point, you see him kind of just look over and kick one of the purple-skinned of his kind, and they just kind of like get knocked back and shudder and kind of, you know, cower more. But what would you like to say, if anything, at this point, as you're standing there, sort of laying there?
I don't say anything.
You don't say anything?
Wait
Okay.
to see what happens.
So, Tite, what do you think the punishment should be for
her. And he points to Minerva.
Punishment for what? She's looking for her friend, dude.
Her friend?
Yeah, that's why she was sneaking around.
Why did you not just request to see her?
Really just gonna release a slave like that?
Maybe not. There is more politics involved, but
Exactly.
it would have
I'd rather
been...
bypass all that.
Well, you look to be in a situation that you cannot deal with now. We are a very peaceful people.
And as he says that, you kind of like look at it out of the corner of your eye.
No, she looks over at like all the creatures and is like, seriously?
And he's very perceptive. He notices you kind of looking around. He's like,
do not concern yourself with them.
That's not what peace looks like.
If you only knew what these creatures did to us, you would not be saying that.
The other slaves you have then? Is that peace?
It is peace among our people, which has been hard to make for many generations.
Yeah, I don't really care how hard that was. You don't need to involve other innocent people in whatever infighting you've got going on.
Well, if people move into a territory that is not theirs and is ours, we have the right to do what we want. And keep in mind, there are 5 factions of Githyanki here, and only 1 are drudgers. Many of us despise the drudgers, but it is the only way to keep the peace between our 2 races.
That seems incredibly fragile.
It can be. That is why I work tirelessly to keep the peace, which you are trying to disturb. Do you wish for me to bring in the Githyanki Knight Drudger?
and then the red-skinned creature kind of,
Enlightened one.
and he bows.
The Knight of the Drudgers is not here. He is out picking up more. This is unfortunate. When should we expect his return? Well, maybe a few days, but the auction, they should be back for the auction. Very well. Then you will be our guests for the next couple days.
Well, if he's gone and you're the leader around here, can't you just make the call? If you want this peace to
This
hold
would
up, I suggest you let them go.
upset the balance of peace. I, even as the leader, cannot and will not undermine one of the Gith Knights. It will not happen. Peace will not last if this is the case.
Peace is not going to last if you keep my allies locked up like that.
Empty threats. You can't even move.
I'm not talking about just me.
And he like looks to Tita.
Are you foolish enough to attempt anything?
Probably.
I would love to see you try.
That is the correct answer. Oh man.
But for now,
And he points to Minerva.
you will be unbound once you are safely behind the bars. In 2 days' time, the auction will take place, and we will discuss allowing you to leave our facility.
So you brought me up here just to tell me you're going to throw me in the exact same spot as to where you took my other allies?
Yes, but I want you to know I am not messing around.
And then as he says that, the red-skinned mind flayer again grabs the cuff of your jacket and begins to drag you out of the room slowly. Tita, you just see Minerva helplessly getting pulled away. And you can hear like moans from all those purple creatures as she's getting pulled away.
Jeez Louise. I feel like I can talk to Minerva in the little earpiece thing, yeah?
Yes, just keep in mind you do have to speak out loud, whether it be a whisper or...
No, that's fine. That's fine. I'm just gonna say into the earpiece, I know you'll be okay. I'm gonna make this right. And then I'm gonna turn to Floaty Bit and I guess now I'm just annoyed. So I'm gonna...
Can I reply to Tita?
Yeah, of course.
She just kind of says, I trust you, and this isn't your fault.
Oh, that's so cute. All right, yeah. So he's gonna like for a second, and then he's gonna turn to the other Floaty Bit, and just, what do you want from me? You brought me here. I've done. I don't know. I got you Minerva for what? Because, again, she was looking for her friend. So what do you want with me? This is silly.
What I want from you is just one thing. I would like you to teach me what you just did.
What? You told me you were going to teach me how to do that. Why am I going to teach you how to do that?
I could guide you to get to that point, but you are the one with the natural abilities. It will take time for me to learn in the ways that you have the ability. But I would like you here so we can work together. On top of this, I will teach you things that you never imagined you could do. In fact, where would you like to be the most? Anywhere, home, with a friend, wherever you would like to be.
Well, actually, right now, I just kind of want to be with all of my friends who you locked up. So if you want me to help you with anything, then you should probably let them go.
Ah, a negotiator. I see. If you would like to be with your friends, very well.
And he snaps, and you see 4 of the Gith Yankee decked out in the blue emblem begin to walk toward you, kind of just all around you.
Okay.
And crouching upon you. Are you doing anything?
We will see how long your will lasts when you are alone in a cage.
You just said I could go be with my friends. Are you bringing me to jail now? Come on, man.
And the 4 of them begin to close in on you, and you all of a sudden you feel one hand on the back of one of your shoulders, your left shoulder, and they begin to kind of circle in. What would you like to do, if anything? You can go peacefully if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go peacefully.
Okay. So they begin to guide you. They don't bind your hands or anything, but they just begin to take you down. Everyone else, is there anything else you would like to say or do to the Enlightened One while you are in the room, because you're getting pulled away? And as you're getting kind of pushed down the hallway, you can see these purple-skinned mind flayers looking up with you with like, please, like the look of like, save us.
Can I talk into the earpiece thing again? I don't know if Minerva can hear me or not. I'm gonna talk back into the earpiece to Minerva, I guess. And just say, not sure if I'll see you soon. Not sure if I made it better.
Minerva, you do receive this message. At this point, you are almost, the lift is going down and you're almost to that lower level. You haven't quite hit it. You hear that and then it hits the bottom.
Right.
But everyone else, do you want to reply at all, Minerva?
She's just kind of like, okay, well, I mean, I hope to see you soon, but when I'm not locked up, you know.
You hear that. Minerva, as you say that, you obviously have to speak. You hear like a sneer or a snicker kind of from the your captor as he's kind of holding the scruff of your collar.
Got something to say?
I think it's just funny that you think you're getting out of here.
I think it's funny you think I'm not.
We'll see.
Yeah. So everyone else, you all get dragged down to this lower level and you're brought close to like maybe a little over a mile down this just one corridor. Zaxa, at this point, you are just being dragged.
Mm-hmm.
Not really much you can do about it. Zin, you're being pushed in the chair. Emmy, you're just being guided because you're in flames. You said this during break. What Emmy would have done, seeing the two of your old shipmates kind of be like kind of thing. You said that your entire body would be in flames. So I don't know how angry you still are at this point, but yeah,
last 10 minutes. So.
Yeah, you see this guy who burned his hand the first time, he got a little wiser, and instead of pushing you with his hand, you see he has this thing on his wrist that he activates, and it's almost like a baton goes out of it, and he's just kind of poking you with a force baton. It doesn't hurt or anything. It's just, he's doesn't want to burn himself, so he's poking you with that. And yeah, Modi's there. He's just complying, and Gherkin is get off of me as he's moving down the hall. But yeah, anything you want to do as you're led down? By the way, you are, as you're being brought down the hallway, there is a small group of blue emblemed Githyanki that meet you at the door that you stop at. But I will say, is there anything you'd like to do in the meantime on this mile hike down the hallway?
Well, we're all bound, right? Like.
Yep. Yep.
Can I ask anybody who consented to this? Is there a reason why 4 people just took us down?
I don't know. Minerva told us to stand down.
And where's she?
They took her up. To what floor, I don't know.
And I'm guessing we went down?
Yeah.
Well, this is shaping up to be some kind of fun.
I'm kind of worried for Min and Tita. Where were they taking them? Silence.
Like, I want to look down at Zaxa. I feel like he would have had the answer, but then it's like...
Zaxa, you can speak. Labored. It's labored. Breathing is labored, so...
He will not be speaking for a while.
Yeah. Getting dragged. Oh, man. Okay. So eventually, you make it to this large-ish metal door. It has a crystalline screen next to it with a little slot. And the Githzerai that are kind of holding you seem to be waiting. And what they're waiting for is a small group of the blue emblemed Githyanki to arrive and utilize their chips to open this particular door. As you, let me just make sure I'm saying this correctly. I want to say it wrong and then. Okay, yeah, I had it right. Blue emblem, cool. So they open the door, very dark inside. They begin to push everyone in one at a time. And as you come inside, it seems like it's another long corridor that goes as far as you can see in the dark. Anyone who has dark vision, which I believe is Zanesi, Modi, and Gherkin. Emmy, you don't, right? No. You have dark vision?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, she glows in the dark. Does that count?
A little bit of a glow, sure. All right, so yeah, everyone except Zaxa can see a little bit. And you can see that there are these energy cages kind of along both sides of the hallway. And each cage is separated from the next cage by like 5 or 6 feet. There's a gap between them. And the cages are large, large enough that they could hold probably a huge creature if it's kind of crouched a bit. And as you're kind of moving through, it's difficult to make out specifics, but you can see different forms within the cages, mostly humanoid forms. You can see a couple bipedal, quadrupeds. There's, most of them are kind of just huddled or sitting, or you can hear like faint whimpers and crying in the distance. And as you kind of move down, one of them steps in front of everyone, pulls out this little kind of like a chip, and begins to punch in some type of code. And when he does, the energy field around the door part of this cage just boom, and kind of powers down. The 4 of you begin to get pushed into that. Anyone resisting or just kind of going in?
Can't.
Yep. Okay. So one by one.
I'm still mad.
Yeah, so you're giving a little bit of light in there, giving a little bit of a glow. But they very upset, Emmy, very upset. They push everyone in. The door back up with a couple more clicks of that chip. And they're like, "We'll be back for you in a couple days." And the Gith Yankee, Gith Zerai that were accompanying you begin to leave. And the 4 of you find yourselves in this cage, and you can kind of like peer around. It's difficult to see, but if everyone would like to make, anyone who can really do something, Zaxa, if you'd like, you can try to like turn your head to look in a direction if you'd like to make a perception with disadvantage. But Zanesi and Emmy and Modi and Gherkin can make, so actually 5 of you can make a perception check. Okay. Gherkin kind of like real quick looks around. He's like, "There are a bunch of humanoids, some type of people around us. Not in our cage, but the cages around us." He's kind of like points at a few huddled masses. What did you guys get? Zin?
15. 18,
nice. Emmy?
Yeah, I got a nat 20. And dog situation. 1 second. I can't believe that just happened. It's always perception.
Yeah. So that's the only thing you're good at, is seeing things.
That's it.
You know what? It's because she hasn't been drinking in a while, so she's very alert. She's
actually paying attention. I can't believe it.
Emmy, you do still have, I believe, if I remember correctly from last episode, I believe it's 11 nips left.
No, she gave one to Modi, I thought. So
Oh, that's right. So 10. That's right.
Yeah, I can't reach them or my potion of healing to give to Zaxa because I'm bound. So 10 nips. We are down to 10 nips.
Down to 10 nips. Okay. So as Zin and Emmy, you've been to peer at Zaxa, did you roll or no?
I did. I got a 4.
Okay. Yeah, especially without dark vision, you kind of just like your head turns and you look, you can see a huddled mass of something. No idea what it is. Zin, looking around, the cage to your left, if you're looking out toward the hallway, you can see there's a group quickly trying to count up 8, 9, 10 maybe humanoid forms, and judging by their stance and whatnot, maybe not ASMR because they're not glowing. You kind of look a little deeper. humans, maybe? There might be a group of humans over there. You're not sure. It's difficult to make out. Some are a little shorter, some are taller. But then to the cage directly across from you, you try to make it out. Shorter creatures, you can't really see what they are specifically. Emmy, you can see this. These look like dwarves, but their skin, it's hard to see in the black with black and white vision, but it looks like they seem to be a little darker skinned than a normal dwarf, possibly like an ashy color. But again, it's hard to see in the dark. Even with your little bit of glow, there's no glow near them, so it's actually harder for you to see with your glow up. Let's see. Emmy, you also see in the cage next to you on the right, there are 4 very small creatures, maybe like 3-ish, 3.5 feet tall. And they all look male from what you can tell from this angle. And maybe halflings or gnomes, something real short. Yeah, but that's kind of what the two of you see immediately around you. Actually, Emmy, you had a natural 20. You had a natural 20. You get more. You definitely get more. The cage diagonally to the right, you can see there are a bunch just huddled together, a ton of orcs. And there seems to be like 3 groups of them, maybe 30 in total, just all different ages, genders, just everything just jammed into this cage, like 30 people. And then diagonally to the left, you can see another, maybe a family of some type of creature. They look humanoid. And I wouldn't have given this away yet, but with a natural 20, I will. You can see that these creatures not only have arms and legs, but they seem to have 2 additional arms that kind of jut out from their torso. And there are maybe a group of like 20 of them.
Are like, how tall are they?
This one is, they kind of vary significantly. Some of them are, maybe the children that are like 4 feet tall, possibly, but then you see a couple that maybe stand at 7 feet. Yeah, there's a few really tall, bulkier looking individuals. But you can kind of tell, you can make out the difference between, it looks like this either 2 genders or 2 races or something, because some of them have arms that joint the opposite way with spikes inside, almost like a praying mantis. Whereas the rest of them don't have that feature. There's some of them that do and some don't. But that is what you can see in the darkness. And each cage, like I said, the ones next to you are about 5 feet away. The ones across then you get about a 5-foot hallway, and then they're maybe like another 5 or so feet. So you're looking at maybe 10 to 15 feet away, those cages. But that's what you guys see. So what would you like to do?
I wish there was something I could roll for like a lawyer check.
A lawyer check?
Like, why is everybody down here in different cells, all different kind? We're all segregated, so to speak. What?
There isn't really a check specifically for that. You could ask. You could definitely ask the creatures.
Roll for OSHA.
Yeah. Roll for an OSHA check.
Yes.
Can they come within the month?
Clearly, you're not following CDC guidelines. People are way too close together.
So many violations.
So, the 5 of you, Modi and Gherkin included, what would you like to do?
Okay.
You in behind bars. You are in jail.
I'm still really just wondering. I get assault and battery. Is that what they said?
That was he snidely said that. Sure.
I feel I'm being unjustly imprisoned. Anybody else here being unjustly imprisoned?
You hear You hear from the cage to your east, to the immediate right. Oh yeah, we were definitely imprisoned for no reason at all.
Wait, no reason at all.
All four of us. Yep.
Which ones are these?
These are the halflings.
Well, this is an egregious mistake.
And you hear another one. It was just one carrot. We took one carrot.
Ah, there it is. All right, so maybe not in here for nothing.
Yeah, the other one's like, I don't think they really cared about a carrot. Yeah, they just start arguing back and forth between each other. You can see let's see. The orcs don't seem to even pay you any mind. Like, they may have been here for a while. Who knows? They look, beleaguered. But one of the humans kind of speaks up and he's like, well, whether we should be in here or not, we should try to figure out a way to get out. No?
I'm listening.
Oh, I have nothing. I was hoping you had something.
Well, you've been here longer than I have. Why would I know?
That's a good point. Yes, Em.
Roll up. I'm not sure exactly how it works with the energy field and everything, but where he put the chip in to open the door, can I roll up to that and kind of look at it and see what the gist is?
Yeah, sure. Make an investigation check. It is going to be a disadvantage, though, because the panel is on the outside and you can't really press your face up against it to look outside because it's electrical. So it'll just shock you unless you want to take some damage and get a roll. Okay.
Well, that was a natural one. So maybe I am taking some damage.
Yeah, you try to look around, and you press your face as far as you can without, taking, you can feel like the tingles and the zaps of the electricity, but you can't see it. Definitely not enough to make it out. Anyone else? No? All right.
Hold on. Cooking with ideas. She is going to take, I don't know, something. Does anybody have something? No. Oh. She has her sticky notes. She's gonna take a sticky note.
Okay.
Out.
Oh, if you guys had if you have something on your immediate person, that's fine. But if you were carrying a backpack or something, that was confiscated.
Okay.
Yeah. So if your sticky notes are just in your pocket, perfectly fine.
Yeah. She is going to start infusing that in her own little corner into a homunculus servant that looks like, oh, I wanted to make it a dog, but that's not going to work for what I have in mind. So maybe like a little squirrel.
Okay, sure. Yeah. How long does that take?
That would take me, give me a moment.
So while she's looking that up, you all see, those of you who are in the cage, you all see Zin kind of roll over to the locking mechanism, try to get her head through to see it. Unsuccessful. She kind of rolls off into a corner and then starts working on something. How long?
I must be blind. Hold on.
It could be an action, bonus action. Let me see. I've got Zox.
Oh, hold on.
You got
it? Blah 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 blah. Cartoon. Blah 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 blah. I think it's an action. I think that would make sense.
Oh, yeah, you don't even have to be sitting for a while. You can just do it real quick. I'm trying to look. I don't see it either.
I don't know.
It's one of your infusions?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
That's fine. Yeah.
I mean, we're going to be.
I was gonna say, yeah, exactly. You're gonna be down here, so whether it takes a minute or an hour, it doesn't matter. You're gonna be in here for a bit.
Who's across from us?
Directly across are the dwarf fellas, the ones that look like they have maybe a darker skin than a normal dwarf.
Can I try and appeal to them so maybe they can help?
Yeah, what would you like to say?
Their point of view.
What would you like to say?
Pardon me, gentlemen.
Couple heads kind of turn.
I'm gonna go ahead and take a forward move and guess that you don't want to be here.
Well, lassie, that would be correct.
All right, so we're on the same page. Any chance you might be of any assistance seeing what we're trying to do here with my tinkerer friend?
He kind of like looks back and forth.
We don't really have equipment. We're miners, but can't really do much with that, lassie.
You got the eyeballs?
We can see in the dark, yes.
Okay, then. Can you see that pad across from us? Across from you?
Yeah.
So whatever
It's
it
small,
says.
but I can see it.
Okay. You can also see if anybody's coming from the other way.
I have two eyes, but can't be in different directions.
He kind of turns and taps another one of the guys on the shoulder, and he stands up. He's
Old One Eye. I'll keep an eye out for anyone coming this way.
And you see this guy comes up. He's got a patch on one eye on the other side. He's kind of,
yeah, I'm looking.
She's gonna try so hard to choke down. Wait. Okay. Right. She's not gonna say it. she doesn't want to insult them right off the bat. But the one-eyed guy watching to see if anybody's coming just doesn't seem very reassuring.
So what is it that you want me to do there, lassie?
Just give us a whistle if anybody's coming and we look suspicious.
All right, I can do that for you, sure.
all right. So that's happening. Zanesi, in whatever amount of time it took, your homunculus is created, and you have a little squirrel buddy that's running up and down your arm.
I love it. Okay.
Like Bob Ross.
Yeah. It's exactly what I'm going for. Yeah, I guess if its heart is a sticky note, I want it to kind of look like, not like an origami squirrel, but enough like you can tell it's made out of paper.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's very fun. What do I want it to do? I was thinking I could have it like, is it like bars or is it just a solid wall?
There are bars, but they are like electric. They're like electric force. It's force energy that's electrified, essentially. Force bars that are electrified.
Okay.
And it gives off like a slightly like purplish glow from the electricity that's coursing through it.
All right.
Actually, while you're figuring out what you want to do with the squirrel, Old One Eye is like,
Yes, it looks as though there's some people coming down here.
I'm gonna tell my little squirrel to hide.
it scurries off. And you guys kind of strain your eyes, those of you who can see, to kind of look down the hall. And what you see is a familiar face, that red, leathery skinned creature. And you can see that he's dragging something large behind him. And as he kind of gets closer and closer, and Emmy's glow kind of gives off a bit of a light, you can see that Minerva is being dragged behind. And he just kind of drags up to the cage,
Move to the back.
Wow, he called you big.
He's a tall lady.
Move, you dogs!
And are you moving to the back of the cage?
Zoxa can't move.
Well, he knows that.
Somebody else has to do it.
Yeah, Gherkin will like reluctantly kind of step back. Modi just goes. Zin, Emmy, either of you?
I'm sorry, I'm still mad.
Are you staying at the front?
Yes.
Move, or you'll all pay for this.
What are you gonna do? Put us in jail?
You see him pull out a chip, and he looks like he's about to press it.
Move back.
I mean, just come on.
And you hear old One Eye. Hey, you might want to do that. You're gonna get hit with some electricity if you don't. But do you step back?
Fine.
Okay. As you do, he presses some buttons that throws Minerva in. She just kind of to the ground in a coiled ball, and then it comes back up. And then Minerva, after probably an hour of being just tightly wound in this thing, the coils finally loosen and fly back into his hand. He just kind of catches it, and then nods.
Let's see you get out of here.
And he leaves.
Okay.
Question. Do I have my mask, or when Tita picked it up, did you like keep going into it?
I think Tita still has your mask.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So you all see Minerva without her mask on.
Well, as soon as she comes in, I'm rolling up and like reaching down to her to try and help her up.
Yeah, she'll take your hand and stand.
Oh man! And Modi comes running over, just gives you a big hug. I'm so glad you're okay. You need to stop going off on your own.
I'll give him a hug. In my defense, I was on my way back when all this got really bad. But, are all of you okay? I mean, objectively, I know the answer, but
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Gherkin just in the corner. Zen, Emmy.
So when the dude came in to throw Minerva in there, did he punch something into the?
He punched something into a chip in his hand.
Into a chip in his hand.
Yeah, he had a physical, almost like a remote control type situation. Yeah.
Same procedure when we got yoinked.
Sorry, say that again.
It was the same thing they
Yes.
did. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Yep.
All right.
Zoxa, how you looking?
Do I have to answer?
Well, Minerva asked. You don't have to, but
No, he's not going to answer.
just lay there.
He's very focused on being alive.
Makes sense.
Valid, very valid.
Yeah. But yeah, so you guys are all in there. The creature leaves. Who you still haven't gotten his name, huh? Oh, he hasn't given it. Okay. Anything that you'd like to do?
I guess I would just want to tell everyone what I know, maybe, because I know some tidbits of information. All right, so I didn't learn much from the Enlightened One, but
Did you locate Nolgatame?
I think we have a bigger issue to deal with right now. But I've figured out.
If we can get her, we can make one quick escape together instead of trying to escape and then having to find her.
How do you think we're going to get out of this cage in order to find her first? That's our first problem.
He'll just slam the bar, the force bar.
Do we know for a fact that she got taken for a slave, or like asking around to other people?
You don't know. When he slams the bars, you can see like all this electricity course through his body, and he kind of like slumps for a second.
Well, we're not getting out that way.
All right. While that's all happening, I want to make like a little sound to get my little squirrel back. Thank God. Yeah. So
Everything about this is fantastic.
she'll just go, I think I might have a plan a little bit. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but it's all I got right now.
Right. Well, lay it on us.
I don't know if she'll have it on her shoulder or like in her hands, but she'll just kind of be like, I made this. And I was thinking maybe, possibly, it could try and figure out how the locks work. I can't angle myself to look at it. It can't talk to me, and I can't see through its eyes, but it's all I got.
It's worth a shot. We have to try everything.
All right, so she'll kind of like lean down to it and be like, give it the instructions of like, I want you to try and go out there and look at what could be done, maybe.
Give me an Arcana check.
Yeah.
Or even though it's not actually an animal, if you would like to use animal handling, you certainly can. Either Arcana or animal handling.
Good God, why am I rolling so terribly today? So that's a
gods are not on your side. 10. Yeah, so your little paper squirrel homunculus jumps off of your hand just down your leg. It gets over to the cage and it kind of surveys whether it thinks that it can hop through without dying. Jumps through to the other side. Looks up, and the panel for this thing is very, very small. The panel is like 4.5-ish feet up, and it's trying to look, but there's nothing it can climb to get up there because the bars are electrified. So it's trying, it's looking around, and then after a second, it kind of like looks back in at you.
So it's gonna go like this. Be like, it's okay, best.
Yep. Scurries back in. Climbs up your leg. How long does your homunculus last for?
Pretty sure it's until she doesn't want it anymore.
Okay. So Zin now has a paper mache squirrel chilling on her shoulder.
All right. Well, I can't do anything now, but I might be able to do things later.
That's pretty cute there, Zin.
He'll come over and like scratch his cheek.
Thanks. I guess so.
All right, so back to trying to get out of here. Suggestions?
Okay.
Clearly what I tried didn't work.
Clearly. Here's everything that I know. I found out earlier from another gift that there's going to be an auction in a couple days, 2 days, 3 days, not that far away. Once that happens, the person who oversees the drudge process is going to essentially there's a council that is going to decide whether we're going to be let go or whether we are going to be part of their drudge system, essentially. That's all I know right now.
I don't want to be a slave.
Me neither. So we've got 2 days, I think, until this council decides what's going to happen to us. So we've got 2 days to try to figure out a way out of here.
All right.
Tita's still with the Enlightened One, though. They took me out of there before I could know what they wanted him for.
I don't like this.
Well, We already established before you came here that nobody in here wants to be here,
Okay.
at least in the immediate surroundings. And we know individually in our group, we can't take everybody.
Yeah.
But who's to say that we can't take everybody? She kind of motions to all the other cages.
For the first time, Zin, in a while, you see Gherkin smile.
I like the sound of that. Get the slaves to fight back.
You got the big guy going.
That could work. That could work.
I just need to figure out how to get out first.
What if? Okay, so maybe not anytime within the rest of today, because we all need to rest. It looks like a lot of us have taken a beating, and we need to be strong for this. The next time that door opens up and she points to the door of the cage, one of our options is to just try and overwhelm the guard that comes in, grab his chip, use that to let ourselves out and let everyone else out too.
Do you think it's going to be that easy?
Absolutely not.
I mean, I'm sure that this little guy would be a great pickpocket.
That's a good point. And hey, wait a minute. Zin, Emmy, T-word, Teach not here. Oh, wasn't Kubrick with you? Where is he?
Long time.
Kubrick is we're gonna call him missing in action. He had I may or may not have seen him with a lady friend.
Oh.
It seemed a little too kinky though. Not really sure if that was a lady friend.
Oh.
But glad we could really count on him in our time of need. Look at him coming through in the clutch, like Kubrick always does.
The gag.
So is there any immediate conversation that you would like to have at the moment? Yes, go ahead, Emmy.
I think Emmy would like to start asking around to other people if they've seen Nova Team.
Ah, okay.
Which
cage would you like to start with first?
Well, I'm gonna guess the dwarf type guys across from us because they can kind of see in the dark. Maybe they saw more.
Yeah, so go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, pardon me, gentlemen. I hate to bother you once again.
What is it, Lasty?
Any chance you may have perhaps seen, let's say, how to describe her? And I'm gonna try and like coax Gherkin to come over. Just could you describe your lady for these friends here? Perhaps they've seen her.
The most beautiful creature you have ever seen.
Of course.
She decks herself in all dark colors, most likely black. I don't know what she would have had on her specifically at the time.
Could also be Minerva. Continue.
He's like, she wouldn't have her staff. She might, depending if they took it or not. She may have a necklace with a symbol of her goddess. It's like a U, like a horseshoe almost. That's upside down. 2 little lines at the bottom. Anything like that? She's small, very pale skin. Anyone? No.
They didn't even have a chance to like say yes or no. And I haven't seen something of that description.
Well, it was worth a try. Thank you, gentlemen. You also didn't happen to notice what that rather unpleasant red gentleman did with his chip after he used it. Did he put that in any particular pocket?
See if they even care to notice.
Well, lassie, I saw him. He had like a thing on his belt clipped in.
Belt. Interesting.
Never seen that creature before. A little unnerving with that crimson skin. Usually that kind has purple.
Wait, what?
Yeah, mind flayers, illithids, generally have purple skin. And they have like dangly tentacles. This one cut off.
Wow.
You do remember seeing like he's got like the red guy has like these like nubs coming out of the like where that should be.
I'm just confused. I feel like Emmy would be confused that they've never seen him before. Like he seems kind of annoying. So.
No, it hasn't come down. We've been here close to, I don't know, it's hard to keep track of time these days, but it's looking like maybe 5-6 days at this point, maybe longer.
Interesting. Interesting. Well, thank you, and I will not forget you, sir. And she's probably going to try and fish a nip out of her belt and go to sleep.
Okay. None of you are disturbed this evening. You are all left in your cage and nothing happens. Tita, however, you are being brought by these or led by these 4 Gith Yankee in blue emblems down the lift to a hallway, which seems to extend as far as you can see and further. And they begin to walk you past the first door, which is pretty much there. It's maybe like 100 feet down the hallway is the first door. Past that, and you walk for some time. Is there anything in the mile or so walk that you would like to do or say to these creatures?
It's quiet, like whatever doors and stuff we're walking by are like closed.
Well, so far you've only seen 2 doors. When you first stepped off of the lift, you walked about 100 feet and there was a door on your immediate right and a door on your immediate left. After that, you haven't seen another one for half mile, 3/4 of a mile. You're still walking. You haven't seen another door yet.
It's just a hallway, you said.
Yeah, just a straight up hallway. There's lights built into the ceiling, occasionally one's flickering. Creepy hallway status.
Creepy hallway status. Great. I will, after a bit of time, I will perhaps start to whistle.
Okay.
Just to pass the time. I mean, this probably doesn't really phase Tita because I mean he's a tunneler, so walking down some long hallway with creepy lights is like he's actually probably feeling at home, perhaps, just kind of equating that with like there's some sort of level of comfort, even though he has no idea where he's going or what's happening. He's kind of like, oh, this isn't so bad. Like maybe he'll even say that, he'll whistle for a bit and be like, I thought this was going to be like way creepier.
So yeah, as you're making your way, you're maybe like a half-ish so mile into the walk, you begin to see a figure walking toward you from the far end of the hallway, or not far end because you can't see that far, but like from the hallway heading toward you. And as it comes into focus, you can see that it is that red-skinned creature making his way back down toward the lift.
The one that's like been with like the whole time.
Yeah. If you want to say or do anything, you can. As you guys begin to, get close enough to meet, he just says,
"Where are you off to?"
As if I know. And then I'm gonna like point to like whoever the people are that are walking with me, like, you should probably ask them.
Yeah, one of the drudgers kind of looks up and he's like, we're taking her down to the final holding chamber. And he's like,
yeah, you're gonna be all alone, little one.
And kind of like pokes at you, Tita, and then begins to kind of step around and walk down the hallway.
As he pokes me, I'm gonna kind of like I don't want him to poke me.
Oh, you could get pulled away.
Like
No.
I'm gonna like, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't. He goes to try to poke it. It's more of like one of those like, almost like he booped you. Just.
Oh, he booped
you-
me. Get out of here. He booped
I said
me.
almost
Yeah,
like he
because I got
booped
out
you.
of the
He didn't
way.
actually, because you pulled away.
Yeah.
But yeah, he passes by and you continue to move. Then after a little bit, you do see two more doors, one on each side, but they
Okay.
don't stop. They continue to move on, and you continue to walk for a.
Is there anything on these doors, like markings, numbers, letters, anything?
No,
Nothing.
there are. They're just large metal doors. There are no handles. Nothing. There's no handholds. Nothing there. It just these doors look like they may raise and
All right.
lower.
At this point, how long have we been walking now?
Well, and there's a crystalline screen with a small slit underneath next to the door. Each door you've passed by has that with like a little chip slot. You have been walking for, say, maybe like 15 or so minutes. You're a little over a mile at this point.
I will, after we pass whatever the next like set of doors are that like we haven't tried to enter, I guess I'll just like, so I mean, how much further down is mine? I mean, I think I got my steps in for today, bro.
It's not much further. You got maybe like another half mile.
Okay, I'll just continue walking then.
All right. Yeah, they'll bring you to the door, and one of these drudgers kind of steps up with his chip, enters it into the little slot.
Is it the door on
opens
the
up.
right or the left?
The door on the right.
Okay.
As he opens the door, it's unnaturally dark in here. You can't see 5 feet in front of you.
Even with
your
my dark vision, I can't see anything.
with your dark vision, it's completely pitch black.
Okay.
There's no, like, doing this, you can't even see your hand in front of your face. It's so dark. You see them reach down onto their belt before pushing into the room, and they have like these very thin pieces of glass that kind of just sit on the bridge of the nose, almost like reading spectacles.
Okay, yep.
They kind of just hover there, and then they can walk in as if not impeded. And they begin to kind of lead you into this pitch darkness.
Okay.
And even as you're walking, your steps, you're used to your like clawed feet kind of clicking and whatnot on hard surfaces. There is no sound in here.
Okay.
It's just almost like a void.
Okay.
Eventually, they stop, and they kind of stop you, halt you, and you hear, and then they kind of shove you, and you get pushed into a cage of sorts, and when it lights back up, there's like the tiniest glow of light when it lights back up, and then it fades back to the pitch blackness. But when you do, you can see the four of them, their faces and whatnot, they reactivate it, and you see them begin to leave. You can't hear anything, like I said, but as that glow begins to just fade back to pitch blackness, you can hear and see nothing. Solitary confinement, my friend.
Do I have anything on me? Like the hell was I wearing? My pirate vest,
You would be you'd still have the vest
like my strap, my bag, any of that stuff. What?
You don't have your pickaxe, you don't have your bag. Those have been confiscated. No idea where they are. They were confiscated from you when you left the Enlightened One's room, so probably somewhere along the way.
You have my.
Am I still wearing my pants? Do I still have my pants?
You are wearing your pants and your vest.
Did I get like patted down?
Well, here's a question for you. When you grabbed Minerva's mask, what did you do with it?
Well, that's terrible news because I probably put it in my bag, but
Well, that's where it is.
that's not what I was looking for. Did I get patted down?
They gave you a quick pat down, but they were only looking for like weapons and things. So if it's not a weapon, you should be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, you're in the pitch black. You can try to kind of feel around, and if you do so, you can feel.
Before I do that, can I reach into my pocket of my pants?
Mm-hmm.
For what I'm looking for is the lighter that Emmy gave me.
It would be there, yeah.
So I will flick it and see if it will light.
Yes. So when you flick it, the light lights and then it immediately goes dark. You can feel the flame is still there, but there's no light from
So
it.
like initially sparks, but it does not remain.
Correct. It's almost as if any light is being suffocated.
Right. Okay. All right. So I will probably do that like just a couple of times. I'm not gonna it's not gonna take me that long to figure out that that's not gonna do anything.
Right.
And then I'll put it back in my pocket.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to do in here?
I suppose I will very carefully feel around.
Yeah.
So to see how big of a space that I have that I'm inside of.
As you begin to take a couple steps to your left and you have your hands out and whatnot, before you even get to it, you can almost feel energy, that electrical energy, just kind of, so
Okay.
you kind of get your hand, then you kind of pull it away before you get zapped. But you're like, all right, this is kind of the dimensions of this side.
Okay.
You kind of go around and do that. You seem to be in maybe a 5 foot by 5 foot space. It's not
Okay.
huge. But yeah, it's definitely not too tiny. You can
Okay.
go around.
What does obviously the ground is not electrical or whatever. What does that feel like to me? Obviously I made no noise, but is it soft? Is it hard?
It is hard. It kind of bang. Yeah, again, no noise, but if you kind of feel across it, give me kind of check. Give me a nature check. See if you can figure out what substance this is.
+0, so
good.
13.
13. Yeah, it's a hard surface. It doesn't feel as if it's, maybe at one time it was natural, but at this point it doesn't feel natural. It's not stone. It's not. Maybe it's metal, but
Okay.
you can't hear the reverberations and the noise it makes, so it's hard to tell. But judging, kind of feeling around, judging by it, maybe metal of some sort. You're not sure what kind.
Okay. I'm trying to decide how stupid Tito wants to be right now. Okay. When he was doing the feeling around bit and could feel the energy of the bars or whatever, what kind of sense was he get? Did he know that if he touched that he would get electrocuted, or was he just feeling like it was some kind of force field?
I would say that you could feel the energy coming off of it, but you definitely don't know if it would hurt you if you touched it.
Fantastic. So what Tita is going to do is he's after feeling around and seeing that he's in this kind of 5 foot square box, whatever. He's gonna stand where he thinks is the center.
Okay.
And he is going to do his leap thing to see how tall, or if he can.
Yeah. You don't need to roll anything. This you get ready, prepare yourself right in the center, and you jump up, and about 10 foot height, you just into this electrical force.
Right.
Let's see. That's a pretty bad roll. 13 points of lightning damage. It just courses through your veins. You kind of land back on the ground, sizzling and smoking, and you're like,
all right.
It's like Jurassic Park when the kid gets blasted off the wall, the electric wall. You just get thrown back down to the ground.
It's a bug zap.
Okay, so I after that I will just sit there a moment or two.
Okay.
I'm gonna do the head rub,
Perfect.
Can I have no idea where I am or where anybody else is, so can I talk into the communicator thing to everyone, thinking that
Absolutely,
I might read?
Yeah. What would you like to say?
Marco.
You get no response.
Oh, Polo.
Yeah, you are kind
All right, so yeah, I'll say Marco into the thing. I'll wait. I'll get no response, and then I'll just kind of like slump.
slump down, yeah, in the center of the cage. Okay. Pivoting back to the other group, you were in darkness, but not unnatural darkness. You can still, if you have dark vision, you can see. Is there anything that you would like to do? I will tell you, if there's nothing you want to try or speak, or no one you want to speak to, we can fast forward until the auction, because that will be a couple days from, or a day and a half ish from now.
I would like to speak to people.
Absolutely.
So she's gonna roll up to, I guess, the one that Emmy's been talking to, kind of like that side on the, what was it, across?
Yeah, one of the two dwarf-like gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yeah, the two of that, as you kind of call out, they'll kind of get up, make their way over to the bars, but go ahead.
She'll just be like, so, is there like, how often do they come down here?
Yeah, well, like I said before, that redskin guy, we haven't seen him before, but the others, the blue emblemed Gith Yankee, well, they come down here quite often, always bringing new slaves and occasionally taking some of us away. It's often, maybe once or twice a day.
No schedule or anything, just kind of.
It's not that we've been able to keep track of down here in the darkness, and we don't know really what's going on with time.
All right, well.
It's always dark. It's hard to tell if it's day, night. No one knows.
Yeah. When they say that. Hold on, I want to do something nice for them. Just let me think of something nice to do. So
Okay.
I guess she's going to take another sticky note because she doesn't have a whole lot on her right now. But she'll take another sticky note and kind of fold it into a paper airplane and cast the light cantrip on it and kind of just see if she can throw it through the bars to them.
Make a dexterity check.
Oh my god. That's the one good roll that I've had all night.
Hey!
That's a 17 plus 2 for 19.
You make this little paper airplane and it kind of soars. You see for a second, like it almost gets by the electricity, but yeah, it flies through and kind of lands right at the base of their cell, kind of like right outside the bars. So there's a bit of light kind of emanating. You can kind of see them better. And you can see these aren't typical dwarves as you get a good look at them. You can see they have ashy gray skin, white hair, and they look like maybe Duragar, which are an ancestor of sorts to the dwarf, but they usually live deep underground. Their demeanor generally isn't kind, but yeah, that's what you kind of see a couple of them over there with that light.
Yeah,
Oh, thank you kindly. It makes it much easier to see around here.
it's not much, but it's what I can do. She'll kind of look around for a second to see if there are any guards coming.
Yeah, make a perception check.
Dear God, please. Okay, not bad. That's a 10 plus 2 for a 12.
Cool. You're pretty confident that you can't hear anything, you can't see anyone. You can hear like murmuring and people talking throughout these cages. And keep in mind, it's not just the 6 cages like you and the ones around you. This hall goes for a while, just lined with cage after cage. And trying to look down the hall, it looks as though, every cage has 1, 2 to 20, 30 people in it. So every cage pretty much is used. You might see an occasional one that's not. Though it is too difficult to make out specific shapes and forms of the people further than the ones in your immediate vicinity, you can tell that there are beings of some sort down the hall.
Okay. So nobody like in the aisles at all, just all in.
Correct. Yeah, it's essentially kind of like the first hallway that you went down. It's another super long hallway that, as far as you know, goes all the way to the edge of the ship. And yeah, it's just lined on both sides of this hallway with these electrical cages spaced about 5 feet apart. And your cage is pretty big. It's about 15 feet by maybe 10 to 15 feet ish. I'd say 15 by 12.
Yeah. So she'll kind of, after she's done looking around, be like, this looks like goes on for a while. There must be a lot of creatures in here. Sure, it would be a shame if they decided they didn't want to be here anymore and did something about it, don't you think?
Are you talking to the dwarves or the Durgar?
Oh, yeah, of course. You know, I don't want to be in here. I don't want to get sold. I don't want to be a slave. But I don't know how to get us out.
I'll just chew on that thought for a little bit.
I
All
wanna,
right.
Go ahead, Minerva.
I want to go walk over to Zen. I want to say something.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Zen, if your pickpocket squirrel doesn't work, I mean, I'm hoping that it will. I think it's a good idea. If it doesn't work, I think I might have another idea, but I need you to tell me if it's stupid.
All right. Should we
This is
move?
also contingent on if the door to our cage opens again or not, but I am very, very hard to see in the dark if I don't want people to see me. So if the door opens, I could potentially get the jump on whichever guard decided to open it.
The only problem with that is we know that we can't take them all by ourselves.
Yeah, but if it's only like 1 or 2 that are coming down here to just do, I don't know, some kind of checkup or whatever, then you might stand a chance.
Well, if
I
you
just-
can get the jump. Oh, so she's remembering. I don't think she saw it actually, but when Emmy, she knows that Emmy can tackle. So she.
No, I think you probably would have seen, because it was enough of a commotion and you were right there, kind of just being handbound. You could have easily just turned your head and saw her tackle him down easily. Yeah.
Okay. So she'll be looking at Minerva and go, ooh, ooh, like you can see the light bulb going off, and she'll like wheel around and she goes, group huddle. We gotta talk.
Okay. Oh yeah. And Morty gets up and will kind of come over. Gherkin just stands kind of 5 feet away, just staring.
Maybe we should huddle like where Zoxa is because he can't move.
Oh, Zoxa.
Gherkin just takes 1 step and he's now next to Zoxa because he's so large.
All right, word. So she'll kind of look around at everybody and be like, listen, this might be stupid, but it might work. It might be crazy enough to work. So, Emmy, I know that you are good at taking people down. I've seen it, and I commend you for it. If the door opens, if there is another guard that comes down, I want as many people as possible to take the guard down. I'll send little, he doesn't have a name yet, but I'll send him to get the card.
You should name him Nuts.
Sure, his name will be Nuts.
Yeah, if you can get Nuts to, I've heard that the card goes on the belt. He puts the card back on the belt or he gets the hose. So it should be on the belt. I can always create a diversion.
I would also like to throw into this brainstorming session that if I don't want someone to see me in the dark, they will not see me in the dark. Number 1, you can attest to this.
It's true. When we were sparring, I made a fatal mistake, though I still won. I smashed the light, making it easier for me to bounce around, but it made it more difficult to see her. Couldn't find her, couldn't hit her.
All right. So what do you say we do with that?
I mean, if the door opens, I can be in the corner next to it. Maybe I can try to rush forward quick enough to surprise him, and then Emmy, if you would assist me in the tackle.
Now, I'd love to assist in a tackle. I do love a good clothesline, but I must admit, what are we going to do with our prone friend here?
Wheelchair buddies.
And then actually, Emmy, as you say that, you see Gherkin kind of look down at Zox, who's just laying there silent. And he looks around at the people around him and just kind of doesn't really care that you're all there. He kind of kneels a bit. He's like,
I just wanted to apologize to you.
this is to Zoxa.
I didn't mean for you to die trying to get my wife back. I do apologize, and I'm glad that you're still around. That one's on me.
Oh my God, can we have like the Full House, like lesson learned music at the end?
Yeah.
Still new.
Zoxa, you are able to speak if you wanted to respond.
I don't know what he would say.
I feel like the nothing was just.
I guess he would like roll and look to like acknowledge and then like roll back.
Yeah, and he'll, as you do that, he'll just nod and get back up to his feet.
I'm gonna say, as incredible as it was to hear you give an apology, I have to take the blame for this one. I'm sorry, Zoxa.
Well, whoever's fault it was,
Or wasn't.
or wasn't, we still need to fix it. So, I feel like we have the beginnings of a plan. I think we should, if not spread the word, spread the inspiration, the beginnings of a revolution, so to speak.
Okay, can I then try and use like bardic inspiration times a bajillion to try and sing a song of excitement to everybody in the
Sing a song.
I don't know that that's necessarily because bardic inspiration is for one person, but you could. Do you have like the entrancing performance or something like that?
I mean, I have motivational speech. I don't know how many, but that's a speech. That's no fun.
Be a sung speech.
Yeah, you can make it a song speech.
Performance check for for me trying to sing a song to get everybody to work together to work against the man. We'll call it the man. Right?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. I did good for once with the performance.
Wow.
Okay, 19 on the performance.
Oh, okay. You see, at least that you can't see much further than the cages around you, but at least the cages around you, the majority of the people that are locked up begin to kind of stand and make their way closer to the edge to kind of get a better glimpse at you as you're kind of performing and singing your song and all that.
Okay, just
I would
to set
say-
the tone, it would be more like in Jaws when they were saying, "Show me the way to go home," and everybody gets excited and starts like hitting
Okay.
the table for it. I'm tired and I want to go to bed.
You can see there's still a few people who aren't really participating, kind of sitting down and just, maybe they're injured, maybe they're too weak to get up. You don't know. Maybe they just don't care. But the good majority of the people that you can see begin to kind of like, if they may not know the song, but maybe they're clapping or they're kind of getting into the groove of it. And it's been some time since we've had entertainment in here. You seem to raise the spirits of everyone who's been locked up for God knows how long. So, actually,
Gherkin's like, I kind of want to try something. So Minerva, remember how you said you're better in the dark?
Yeah.
I am too. Do you remember when we were sparring? I was able to disappear into shadow and appear on the other side of the room?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to try that right now.
Things that could have been brought to our attention like a day ago.
Does Zoxa have enough energy to facepalm?
Yeah.
Cool. He's gonna do it so hard that he almost kills himself again.
Oh, speaking of which, Modi, are you still at 1 hit point, Zoxa?
As far as I know.
Modi is going to come over to you. Modi's going to come over to you and use the last of his healing ability on you. You regain 10 hit points.
Zax, I hope this makes you feel a little better.
Thank you, Modi.
Of course. Let me know if you need anything, okay?
He kind of like puts his hand on your shoulder and taps it and gets back up. Gherkin.
All right.
If this works, you need to find one of the guards in a blue shirt, do whatever you have to do, take their key, come get the rest of us.
Fine.
Yeah, you Nightcrawler him right on back here.
And Gherkin kind of focuses for a second, and you see him into like shadowy mist, and then right outside the cage, not like 5 feet away.
Kubrick, like I suddenly like Kubrick more.
All right, well, that worked.
I don't know if I should be thankful or really angry. We've been in here for hours.
Been less than an hour.
Whatever. Just go find.
That's not the point.
He's like, it's been 5 minutes.
3 days.
The dwarf is like, "You're gonna let us out too?" And he's like,
Once I get back, we're all getting out.
and he begins to
Oh,
skulk
going
down
rogue.
the hallway into the darkness, and that is where we are going to end for the evening. So Tita all alone in solitary confinement, everyone else kind of behind bars. Now you have 2 NPCs who have to save you. Let's see how well that works out.
Wait, who's the second one?
Really, of course.
Yeah, not Kubrick, not Kubrick for sure.
Yeah.
Oh man, oh
Manny and
Carrie.
Punch. That's the.
Yeah.
Good God.
Okay. All right. Well, awesome. I guess we will see you all next week. And again, don't forget episode, what do we got? Episode 4 coming up of, no, episode 4 just happened. Episode 5 coming up on Wednesday of Just the Tips and Adventures of Plon. So definitely check that out. It's getting pretty crazy up in hell right now with Plonk. So, you know, don't miss out. Again, we will see you next week. Thanks so much for sticking with us. Have a fantastic evening, and we love you all. Have a good night.